Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. How's everybody doing today? Well, I hope everyone is well, because I am well. This is Rich. I was born rich. I live rich, and I am going to die rich. I come to you every week to give you some out of the box thinking, some words of encouragement, maybe some hope, maybe a little comic relief, but more importantly, just to have a conversation. So today, what's on my mind? Well, what's on my mind is us, community. So I like to look at words and find out how do they originate? How far off have we gotten into actually using what the words were meant to be used for in the beginning? And how does it really relate? And maybe how do we get back to what the word actually means? So the interesting word for me this week has been community. Community is an interesting word. Um, if we go back to the Latin word of what community means, communis, the first part of community, was derived from the word just common. What was common together? The communis. What are the same thing? And digging deeper into the real origin, it means public spirit. So it means the commonness of the public's togetherness. And we use that word often, but in modern lexicon or modern language, it really became relevant in the 50s and 60s. And, today we still use that kind of word, but what does community really mean? Well, it really means the coming together of a common purpose for a number of different things. It just doesn't mean where you live. And at the Council on Aging, we look at ourselves as a community of people who come together in a public spirit to help other people. And when I look at this word the commonness, and the word unity, sometimes we focus on words that have good intentions, but sometimes take us in a different direction. So if we look at unity, and another word that we hear a lot about is diversity. So diversity is what makes us different. And sometimes they're very obvious. But sometimes we focus too much on our differences and not enough of what the commonality is, the commonness of community, which makes us the same. What unites us? And in a world that's completely all over the place, uh, unity isn't quite the word. So if we're going to use the word community, let's focus on what unity is. And unity is one. Unity unites. We can look in a marriage, for example, where two people come together and become one. Well, that's not really possible. Okay, we're not here for philosophy. Well, yeah, we kind of are, but it's the oneness of togetherness. What unites us as one? And on the planet Earth, the reality is we are just one. This is it. And so, how can we focus more on what unites us instead of what divides us? And I think if we focus more on the good things of what you and I have in common, we could unite better. So, common, unite equals together. So, yeah, I get that the world is way more complex and it's not that quite simple, but is it? Are we making it more complicated than it needs to be? So, I want to look at how we can better unite and come together in a common purpose and truly make this a greater community. We are a community, but we tend to be fractured sometimes by the diversions by the focusing on the differences. And there are many differences. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to get all the mail, and TMZ will be out here clicking pictures at me, and he said this and taking. Don't take it out of context. I'm trying to look for solutions when people are constantly looking to lay blame. The only one to blame is me. I'm only responsible for me. You're responsible for you. Because every time I'm pointing at you, I got one, two, three, well, at least three fingers pointing back to me. And the reality is I got four pointing back at me. So I'm looking for ideas on how we can be a better community, how we can unite, how we can be together. And I think the more we focus on what our commonalities are, we're going to see the differences become smaller. If we can get beyond the social media and the news and what everybody else is saying, because it's funny, when I talk to people one on one and I say, I just want to know, what do you think? And they say things like, well, I really don't know. But yet, I hear in the media that everybody knows, but you don't know. Well, how can I, who truly don't know, know? Somebody out there's got to know. So let's take a look this week on somebody who looks different from me, who's very diverse. Maybe they have long hair. I used to have long hair. Or maybe they are younger, and I used to be younger. Or maybe they like broccoli, and I don't like. The point is we're all different. We're all diverse. Got different religions, different colors, different heights, different weights. That's a fact. And a lot of it's visual. We can see it, but we're not seeing the commonality. Sometimes commonality takes this of asking, getting to know, what do you like? What don't you like? Let's find out what our commonness is so we can better unite so that we can be together. I do. I'm tired of all the anger and the frustration. We got to talk to one another. Yelling and screaming. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I personally don't believe we're going to get anywhere. Maybe I'm the only kid that remembers when my dad used to go womp 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 womp, and I would just sit there and say, yes, dad," and go next week and do the same darn thing. And you know why? Because I wasn't listening. We, me and you, we're not listening either. There's too much noise. Let's block out that noise and let's talk to one another. Let's build a great community. We do have a great community. All the other stuff is just getting in the way. So help me. Help me. Help yourself. Help your neighbor. Let's gather our commonness. Let's share a commonality. Let's get together. If you want to get together, call me, email me, stop by. We're here for you. You are part of the community. So this has been Rich. And this is like where like the little thing comes across the screen. You know, the views and opinions expressed here are just his and nobody else's. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. This has been Rich. Just one word, Rich. Take care. Love you guys. And I say, peace